Hello Giblet Wafers, I am Awesomecraft and welcome back to game number 2 between EGIdrA and EGPuMa as part of the Intel Extreme Masters tournament in Cheena, I believe. I think this takes place in China, but this will contain spoilers for the first game, so if you have not seen the first game, go see it, pause this video. If you don't want to see the first game and you want to know who won it, I'll probably be giving it away. I don't want to do it blatantly, but it will inevitably happen. And actually I do want to do it blatantly because things that you do blatantly are way better than things you do subtly. So, IdrA won! IdrA won game 1, everybody! IdrA won! He made lots of ultras and made lots of Nidus worms, and he dropped some stuff and he made more ultras, and then after that he made more bases and made even more ultras. So yeah, these two players are representing Team Evil Geniuses. They just happen to run into each other in the Intel Extreme Masters tournament. And PuMa in the bottom right as the blue Terran, IdrA in the top left as the red Zoigberg. He is Zoigberg. That'd be a good Zerg name. Zergberg. Yeah, but then people might think you're Jewish and they might not get the Futurama reference. Zergberg. Anyway. PuMa is opening up with a supply depot first. Now this is a very curious build because when you have a lot of supply depots you can build more SCVs, so this is going to allow him to make a lot more SCVs. And while IdrA is doing something similar, he cannot build supply depots, he can only build overlords, so this overlord is going to allow him to build more drones. It looks like he goes with the 15 hatch actually. So sometimes he does 14 hatch, sometimes he does 15 hatch, but the map is Tal'Darim Altar. Apparently this is the altar. It's not very fancy considering it has an entire map named after it. It's got pretty little glittering things shooting into it, though. I guess that's why it's able to shoot at the light, is because it's being charged by those little glittery things. It's bedazzled. And PuMa, ooh, this is kind of cool. He's got a perfect little wall off here with a command center. So, I mean, it's such a big map, and he has to know IdrA's playstyle. IdrA loves to expand, so this is really neat. He's going to be lifting this off and landing it here, but for the meantime, in the meantime, it's going to be blocking off any kind of Zerglings or drones or whatever type of scout IdrA tries to send in here. Of course, when IdrA does send a drone here, he's going to see that the command center is there, so it's going to give him the scouting information he needs. Following it up with a gas and then a barracks. So he went supply depot, command center, gas, barracks. This is a combination of tech and macro, man. If he didn't want to tech, he would have gotten his barracks before the gas. And IdrA, oh, I want to squeeze through there, but it's not going to happen. But seeing that command center is good scouting information, he's only going to make 2 lings, and I have a feeling he's only going to have these 2 lings for a very long time. I doubt he'll make more. And here comes that factory, so if IdrA, is he going to be able to get in there? No, this drone is fleeing like a big fat coward. He's like that in Sim Ant. He looks like the soldier ants with the 2 little claws. That's what it reminds me of. They need to remake that game, man. That game was so cool. That was probably the best sim game out there. So IdrA did get his late gas as usual. He's not going to have speed that soon, but he's going to be able to pump out a lot more drones because of it. And he's just macroing up. We got 23 to 20 harvester count. Orbital command coming in first. He's not really safe right now until he gets, you know, some Hellions, something for speed with speed and map control. So he's not going to be landing that command center off. And there's really, it doesn't matter too much if you make an orbital and then land, or if you land and then make an orbital. Making an orbital first is just a little bit safer. So IdrA has started his speed, and oh man, he wants to drone up so damn hard, man. He has pulled off guys off of his gas even after getting the late gas. Here comes the inject on that hatchery, and his drone count is going to be off the hizzity hook. 29 to 20 right now. There are two mules, and PuMa not going to overextend his command center yet. Looks like he does want to get some a couple SCVs, and now he's going to throw down that bunker. He's got a couple Marines to stick in there and land that command center. 33 to 22 harvesters. And I'd like to see IdrA just get a couple of lings just so he can start working on these rocks, because that's going to be really important for his third base. Sometimes you get to a point where your opponent is putting on pressure as a Zerg, where you don't really have the spare time. Oh, these poor Zerglings. You don't really have the spare time to take down those extra rocks, and he really needs to split these 2 Zerglings, but looks like they're both going to go down anyway. Poor little guys, and that's why you try not to overextend with Lings when you, or before you have speed. Unfortunately, the speed just now finishing. Oh, and I missed something. PuMa with that single Hellion. He might be tricking IDrA into thinking he's going primarily Hellions, maybe Blue Flame. But in fact, he's going to be going Cloaked Banshees, and you don't see this a whole lot because it's such a huge investment that doesn't always work against high-level players like IDrA and PuMa. So if these Banshees do any damage, I'd be surprised. Looks like he does have an evolution chamber on the way. And I have a feeling if the Banshee isn't scouted by this Overlord, which it actually might be. Oh, you see that? He switches the rally. It still might get caught by that Overlord. I have a feeling the Banshee's going to end up catching IdrA off guard. It's going to snipe about 4 or 5 drones. And then IdrA's going to pull off his workers and build a couple spores. So that's my prediction. 4 or 5 drones killed by this Banshee. And unless he saves for 2 of them, and he's not going to see this Banshee. IdrA doesn't have any of the watchtowers. The Hellions controlling both these. So PuMa doing a great job maximizing the potential energy of these Banshees by taking every single watchtower. And this Banshee isn't even going to have to cloak until he gets all the way into IdrA's base. So this could be cool, man. Spire's on the way, Baneling Nest on the way. Harvester count is 53 to 37. And there's those extra drones I talked about that are going to want to take down that... Oh, he did see it. No, he didn't see it. Here comes the Overseer. Actually, I totally forgot about Overseers. 1 drone going down. I don't know if he killed 2, actually. 3 drones. And he's working on the Queen, but that's not going to do much. Oh, 4 drones going down. I called it. 5 drones going down. 4 or 5. Now he's going to be forced to back up. So fortunately for IDrA, his lair was pretty fast because there's just he knew he could just drone up and tech hard because of that early command center. And he's able to prevent too much damage from occurring by this Banshee. 5 kills on that Banshee, and he's now taking his 3rd base. So once again, PuMa kind of letting IDrA do what he wants, but unlike the first game, at least he's able to kill a couple drones with that Banshee, so that's got to be at least a little bit frustrating for IDrA. But I still got to say, man, IDra's looking great. He's taking his 3rd base. PuMa now working on his 3rd rocks as well. He's taking the watchtowers. He's forced those Hellions off. And he's even getting a macro hatch, and this is a good timing for a macro hatch because this is kind of around the point where you end up getting way too many minerals because you have to spend all your gas on mutas, and you just don't have enough larvae to build enough lings. And where is that spire, by the way? Oh, there it is. Nice location, centralized location, easy to protect. And these lings taking down that SCV, and looks like they will force the cancellation of the bunker. He canceled it at the last second. And just delaying these rocks a little bit, not going to be a huge deal, but you know, I was able to take out an SCV, so that's nothing terrible. And here comes the Baneling speed. Looks like he has that evolution chamber up. And now last game, he actually upgraded so damn well. I was really impressed, and that's probably what led him to go the ultra route. And these meters aren't going to do a whole lot. He can see that turret. And these Zerglings, oh, not even able to take down a single Marine. These meters are going to force another cancellation, and there's a slight opening here, picking off 3 SCVs. So, oh, 4 SCVs! Oh, almost 5 SCVs before PuMa reacts with the Marines. PuMa has 20 Marines to 11 mutas and 4 Zerglings, a couple tanks, a couple Banshees as well. So, if he were to push out right now, probably wouldn't do a lot because IDrA has 4 hatcheries. 5 hatcheries coming now. Such a baller macro player, man. I don't know how he does this. How does he... Like, if I try to do this, I just would not feel safe at all. I would just be totally scared. So, some pimp macro coming down from IDrA. A 4th hatchery is going to be spotted by this Banshee, but on the flip side, this Banshee will be spotted by IDrA. Is his Overseer going to get there in time? Where are you, Overseer? I don't know where his Overseers are, but they are not next to the Banshee. Banshee's going to float away unharmed and with good... Oh, dude, does she put on her visors when she's cloaked? That'd be really cool. Banshees are so hot. Uncloak! Uncloak! I want to see. I don't know. He's not uncloaking. And looks like these Marines want to go for a little skirmish at the 3rd base. Is he going to go for the natural? No, he's not. He is going to back off. This 4th base has completed. And what route is IDrA going to take? He's going to go the double upgrade route, so maybe we will see ultras in this game, and he's just continuing to pump mutas. So at this point in the game, IDRA's going to spend all the gas he has on mutas. The rest he's going to use to make whatever links he needs, drones, and expansions, until you transition into Hive Tech. And you got to be careful though, because if your opponent pushes out with Marine Tank, Hellion, you know, whatever he's going to do, you got to have gas for banelings. So you either have to have some forward scouting, or you need to save up some gas so you'll be able to get enough banelings. With forward scouting, you'll have enough gas by the time the opponent gets to your base. And actually losing a couple drones here, that's got to be annoying. But the Muta's coming in, they're going to be able to clean up these Marines with ease. Going for the medevac first. And that's probably a smart move. I'm not really sure, like 8 Marines and 1 medevac, if it's smart to go for the Marines first or the medevac first. I would say the Marines first, but I don't know. Probably doesn't really matter. It's probably so close that it doesn't even matter. And these Mutas looking to do some more harassment. They do have that +1 attack. IDrA not a fan of +2 attack on the Mutas, and I don't know why. I mean, you get so many Mutas throughout the game. It seems like it would make sense. Taking down that turret. And more SCVs going down. Looks like he was able to pick off the turret and 3 SCVs that time, forcing a stim. Here come 2 more turrets. And yeah, I was going to say, only 1 turret at your expansion, PuMa. That's a bit risky. And oh, that I don't want to live. I wanted to be an overlord. Suicide. Spide Crawler here going to delay any kind of drops that PuMa tries. And I think he actually might have got dropped up here, but I missed it. So sorry about that. Medevac does go down. And IDrA some great scouting with these overlords. I feel like he needs to get speed. I think IDrA undervalues overlord's speed. It's so damn good. He always tends to get it so late. I think he just really likes having that extra muta. But there's a ton of mutas on the field. 32 mutas, 56 lings. Once again, PuMa letting IDrA do whatever the hell he wants. And here is the push I spoke of, and we can likely see a lot of banelings coming down. Yeah, 14 banelings at forward scouting, allowing him to react in time. And these banelings are going to be in great position. They're going to be on plenty of creep here. And speaking of creep, great spread by IDrA. I have a feeling he has that extra queen. 3 queens. Actually, you know what? He doesn't have an extra queen. PuMa just has not destroyed any creep tumors this entire game, so this is pretty baller creep spread considering IDrA hasn't produced a single extra queen. Or maybe he had a 3rd queen and then he transferred it over here. That might have been the case. But does PuMa see this expansion? Yes, he does. So he knows IDrA has a 4th base, and he knows he needs to make something happen. IDrA picking off the reinforcements. 2 tanks going down, so great play right there. And that's a lot of Zerg forces, man. PuMa needs to siege up. Here comes the siege. IDrA not liking this engagement angle. He'd have to run all the way around here and up here. So smart choice by IDrA to not push in there. And he might anticipate PuMa running back with his forces back to his main base. But of course, PuMa has the tower. Here goes IDrA. Oh, this is not going to be good for PuMa, but he is focus firing those banelings. Now moving in with the Zerglings. Oh my gosh, these Marines are just tearing up those Zerglings. That was crazy. Is IDrA going to finish this off? Yes, he had like 35 mutas, and everything from PuMa goes down. And when you lose that first attack so convincingly as a Terran, a Zerg player is always thinking, alright, I need to take more bases, I need to tech up, and I am in great shape. But you know what? Look at this. This is a lot of reinforcements from PuMa. Let's see how his... God, he's got so much queued up. Look at that. I was going to say, let's look how his infrastructure is doing, but that is insane. Still only a single macro hatch. Oh my god, I completely missed the drop in this 3rd base. I am so sorry, you guys. I gotta keep a better eye on the minimap. But that happened. So, IDrA is now only on 3 bases, and this 3rd base, or this 4th base rather, is gonna get sieged up with the great high ground siege here. He does have +1 on those tanks, so that's going to allow him to one-shot Lings no matter what kind of upgrades the Lings have. And here comes a small attack from IDrA. I feel like if he sent in all of the Lings to that base, that he would be able to take down so many SCVs. His bunker just would not be able to stay up, especially with his 2-2 upgrades now. Yeah, 2-2 Lings. This Muta's trying to get something done, and I feel like these Mutas could take out these Marines. Well, I don't know. The Marines are 2-2. So maybe not. He would lose a lot of Mutas, that's for sure. And now he's going to shuttle the units down to try to pick off this hatchery a little bit faster. 1 Overlord going down. The supply count is at 187 to 193, so PuMa macroing like a boss. 78 Marines. That is nuts, man. That is nuts on my forehead. And what the heck is IDrA doing? He's just running all over the place. Oh, there's another drop up here, destroying even more harvesters. Looks like he only picked off a couple, actually, because this base was so new. And he's going to sacrifice this base and clean up the drop in this base. I lied to you guys. I said I was going to look at the minimap, but I didn't. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Still only +1 attack on those mutas. And now IDrA really only running off of one base. He's trying to saturate this base up here. But not a whole lot of drones. This base just now completing, so now he is running off of 2 bases. And this drop's still just kind of chilling out here. I don't know where that group of Marines went, but now IDrA looks like he wants to control some towers, and that's so many Marines, man. Marines are so good! Why are they so good? I like gold! Not going to do a whole lot to these Marines, and this has got to be a scary force for any Zerg player. This is the point where you really need Infestors, and yeah, we are seeing some Infestors from IDrA. I swear to God, you guys, I do not look at the production tabs and then say what IDrA needs to do. I look after, and a lot of the times I just happen to be right because I'm that good at this game. Except I'm not good at this game, I just happen to be right by luck. And that's so many mutas, man. How many does he have? 37 mutas. And this base has got no hope left. He could probably just magic box this Thor and take out all those Marines if he wanted. Yeah, he's going to do just that. That's a ton of mutas. Oh my gosh. And this is the power of the Mutalisk, man. All these SCVs are going to go down if IDrA would micro them a little bit better. And are they going to? No, he's actually going to go for the factory. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I would have rather he go for the command center because there's still a lot of minerals here. And he might be able to get it anyway. No, he's going to have to back off. There's no way. He could have killed command center. He would have lost like 10 mutas in the process, though. But, you know, he was able to kill the factory. I would have liked to see him kill the command center instead. PuMa, meanwhile, taking his 4th base. IDrA rebuilding his 5th base. And I don't think I've missed any drops in the meantime. At least I hope not. But despite all the great drop plays and harassment that PuMa has done this game, IDra's still looking great. 73 to 44. He's got his hive up, I believe. Where's the Greater Spire at? The Greater Spire is up. So he's going to be going Broodlords this game instead of Ultras. And I think the only reason for this is just to switch it up a little bit. PuMa might be expecting Ultras like he was last game. He's actually got 3 attack way sooner than he did last game. He never even got it last game. So I've got to give the edge to IDrA in this situation. He's getting 3-3 for his ground units. Does he have Adrenal Glands for his Lings? No, he does not. Wouldn't be surprised to see him starting that soon. And he's got Infestors, he's got tons of Mutalisks, and he's got Broodlords, so that's a very potent combination. It's the kind of thing where you can only really respond by getting Ghosts. So we'll see if he does that sometime soon. He is getting Vikings, but no Ghosts to be seen. And his mutas just kind of flying around. Still 69 to 38. Was there another drop? Did I miss another drop? Yes. Nope. Nope. Maybe I didn't. But he is. Oh no, Medevac. No, Medevac's gonna go down. And we've got a muta attack down here. We've got a huge attack up here with the entire force from PuMa. IDrA losing a base. And PuMa inevitably going to lose a base as well. And will IDrA choose to counterattack? He looks like he'd be very vulnerable to counterattack. But no, PuMa's going to take out that base and just retreat a little bit. And still, the creep spread is so good for IDrA. Well, actually, it was good. Now it's just kind of average now that the game has gone on for so long. And, oh no, you can take that out, IDrA. Why don't you get +2 for your air units? I don't get it, man. He's got so many units, but he's not upgrading his air. Oh no. No! No! Why, IDrA? He's just clearing up food. That's all. He's clearing up supply, you know. Might as well get more Broodlords. Oh, man. Throwing down some spies. Gonna delay any drops that go on there. Any harassment. And PuMa's only had 34 SCVs, dude. That's crazy. He was able to kill a lot with the mutas, but he lost so many of them. 8 Broodlords on the way, 7 Vikings, and 94 Marines, and 3 Thors, though. And these tanks sieging up in the worst location ever because they're going to bomb away at the Broodlords. Oh, but here come the Vikings. Where are IDra's Infestors? The Infestors are coming, but are they going to get any fungals off? Yes, 1 fungal going off. He needs 2 more to kill the Vikings. You need 3, or actually you need 4 fungals now to kill Vikings. So yeah, the Infestor nerf actually very significant against these Vikings. And you know, I was going to say IDrA was ahead, but after losing all those mutas, I don't really know what to think. Looks like he is going to retreat back a little bit if the unit count is any indicator. Yeah, I gotta say IDra's behind. The supply count's low as well. And what's this? What the heck is... Oh, he's going to go to the top and bomb down here. That's pretty neat. I gotta say, that's creative play from IDrA. Not something you often see from him. So, IdrA's on the upswing. He's starting to do things that he doesn't normally do. He's doing harassment with infestors, which we're seeing here. We're seeing a lot more upgrades from him. I feel like he wasn't upgrade heavy enough in the past. Now he's getting the +2 attack. And the third thing is he's being more creative to add on to the creativity I already mentioned by getting Niduses, by getting Ultras instead of Broodlords. I mean, he's just playing so well in the last couple of games, but you know, that's a gigantic force. He's 3-3. His mech has 1 attack. It's going to have 2 attacks soon. But I think Infested Terrans would have been a better bet here. When a base is undefended and you only have 1 Infestors, I think Infested Terrans are better than just throwing down 2 Fungals, especially when the saturation is so light. And here come a couple Infested Terrans, so he was listening to me. Thanks you for listening to me, IdrA. And a nice scan by PuMa, detecting any approaching Zerg units. Oh no, IdrA, you never send out your Broodlords alone like that. 3 Broodlords getting sniped, and PuMa, recognizing that Infestors were on the way, is going to get the hell out of there. So we're now on... Oh, this base died. Or maybe I just flipped it off, I don't know. Did it die? Was it burning? What happened to that base? Oh, I'm so bad at this game. So PuMa's actually on 1 mining base, and these Infested Terrans have killed so many. This Infestor has 13 kills. IdrA's base being bombed. He's only on 1 mining base once this base goes down. But here come the Infestors. Does he have any side of the high ground, though? I don't think he does. And a drop going down for IdrA, or for PuMa against IdrA as well. So he's going to be on 0 mining bases if this hatchery does go down, and it looks like it is going to fall. Yes, it does. Fungal on every single Viking but 1. You lucky little bastard, man. And all but 2 Vikings going down, and that's going to free up room for these Broodlords to rain down on these tanks. 2 tanks going down, so IdrA able to salvage this base. So that means 1 mining base, sort of, for PuMa. I don't know why he's not replacing this one. And 1 mining base for IdrA, replacing this hatchery up here. But still a couple Vikings and some Thors to shoo off these Broodlords. There are 6 of them. Oh man, these Broodlords just doing tons of damage. +2 attack, +1 armor. I love to see air armor on those Broodlords once you do reach that point. And he's actually going to save this base. You know, while this cliff is great for the Terran, it's also great for these Broodlords because the Marines just can't get that close. They just can't get close enough to shoot away at these Broodlords. And, you know, they can only fit a couple Marines here, a couple Marines here. It just doesn't really work out for the Terran, and I feel like this isn't going to be utilized much more this game because of the Broodlords. Speaking of, 8 more Broodlords on the way. Still, normal infrastructure from IdrA, no extra hatcheries or anything like that, besides the ones that he's using to expand with, of course. And that's, oh my god, that's 12 Broodlords. That's 12 Broodlords, and that is 8 Infestors against 101 Marines. And only 4 Vikings. Now the Marine count doesn't matter that much because if they try to get close to the Broodlords, they're going to get fungled. So it's really about the Ghosts, it's really about the Vikings when it comes to fighting against Broodlords. And PuMa doesn't really have many of either. He's got 4 Vikings, no Ghosts. So I think this attack is going to be, this might seal the deal, to be honest. He needs to get his Infestors in there and fungal those Vikings, though. He's losing a little bit too much. There we go, there's the fungal. Now where are the Mutas? Send in the Mutas and kill off these Vikings, IdrA! Or just fungal one more time, 4 times, and down go those 2 Vikings. So he's now at 4 Vikings. He was at 6, but there's only 2 here. I wonder where the other 2 are. And looks like IdrA's still not taking that extra base. Here come the Broodlords, still 12 Broodlords. Oh, if he could get a fungal off on those Marines, but no, he cannot get close to the Marines. Those tanks just blasting away at the Infestors. And still, looks like these, looks like this Infestor has 15 kills now. He used to have 13, and PuMa with the intelligence to put some Marines there to prevent that harassment. So, very nice play there from IdrA. And still, PuMa not taking any extra bases, and he can't really. He doesn't have map control. His force is too immobile against these Broodlords, just kind of holding the middle. Would it even be worth it to take this base? Yeah, it would be a little bit. Mainly for the gas though, but Terran players don't necessarily need gas all that much. So we're still seeing a 1 base versus 1 base situation. Their food supply is very even, very close, considering Terran armies are generally stronger than Zerg armies, 188 to 169. And now we've got a little dance here. Uh-oh. Oh, IdrA seeing that tank siege up, maybe, and now backing off. The space is now being taken once more by IDrA. And this is very interesting. Drop going down for PuMa. Killing a couple drones. Nothing significant though. Still, one mining base to one mining base. This Infestor not able to do a whole lot. If he was able to poop some guys right here, he might accomplish something, but still not going to be too significant at this point in the game. Oh, and we do have one Broodlord going down, now down to 11, and 5 Infestors. Nice fungal. These queens need to survive. Each of these queens can heal for, what, 500 hit points? Transfuse is 125, right? Yeah, they've got full energy. So each of these queens can heal for 2 Broodlords. Pretty much, close enough. So he really wants to keep those safe, and, you know, oh, he's got 3 now. This is going to be sick. Yeah, that's a lot of Vikings if they clump up for those Infestors. Man, this is super tense. Insanely intense. But IDrA now off 2 bases. This hatchery, or this extractor, is getting whittled away on. And this 2 base compared to this 1 mining base from PuMa might seal the deal. You know, IDra's looking pretty good. He's up by 20 in the supply. He's even got a couple Banelings out, so he was able to afford the gas to spend on some Banelings. And these Infestors are still what's keeping these Vikings at bay, and what is keeping PuMa from just sending in all of his Marines. And are we going to see a counterattack? Yes, we are, but unfortunately for IDrA... Oh, no! IDrA losing every single Muta, every single Baneling, but it's okay, he was just freeing up food again. Right? 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 That was a pretty big mistake, though. I don't think he wanted that to happen. And that's one of the benefits of having the watchtower. That Marine can see everything. So that little flank didn't really work out for IDrA, losing 3 Infestors to some well-positioned siege tanks. He's trying to bomb away at those siege tanks, but if he gets too close, they'll get blasted by the Infestors. But he really needs to fungal those Vikings. He does catch 2 of the Vikings. Is he going to follow up fungal? No, he's not going to waste another fungal on just 1 Viking with 21 health. He is going to use those Corruptors to try to finish him off, and some more transfusions going down. I feel like he could be dropping some more transfusions. He's got plenty of energy and plenty of weak Broodlords. He's got, what, 5 weak Broodlords and 1 Corruptor that could probably use one. And finally cleaning up those Marines by sending in those Lings, but no adrenal glands yet. It's not the most potent upgrade in the world, so I don't blame him, but, you know, if you're going to get a lot of Lings, you might as well. And once again, these Vikings out of range of the fungal growth, but he cannot fungal because these tanks will bomb away. But there's no tanks left. There are absolutely no tanks to be seen. In comes the fungals. Oh no, IDrA fungal more, you mother trash bag bucket. No! Fungal, you got tons of energy. Almost every single Marine going down. 2-2 on these air units, cleaning up every single Viking. Now, each force pretty much traded. IDrA was able to get away with Infestors. Now we have to check out the production tab. 34 Lings against 10 Marines. So IDrA mining off of that extra base, but there's a drop at the same time at the top. IDrA only on 41 Harvesters, and this drop might have kept PuMa in the game. I was going to say IDrA is producing way more units. Looks like we actually saw another fungal. 22 energy, or kills on that Infestor. But that drop might have kept PuMa in the game. He's mining off of 1 base, almost 2 bases right here, compared to, looks like there was a Zergling skirmish there, compared to the 2 bases of IDrA, but PuMa using this opportunity to take out IDRA's, what, 6th base, and looks like he will actually be able to siege up right here with that tank and do some harassment on this 5th base from IDrA once more. So when I said he wasn't going to harass this anymore, I lied. He is going straight for it, and he doesn't want to siege too far forward because he'd be vulnerable, you know, to... Actually, I don't know why he didn't siege further forward. He would be blasting away at the drones right now. He's just killing the spine. So the supply count now, at 40 minutes into the game, supply count is only 10 different from each other, and that's just insane, especially when it's at such a low number. 114 to 114 for a split second there. They were identical. IDrA is going to transfer these drones back to his, what, 17,000th base, and he's going to try an attack at this location. And with these Infestors helping, I think it's going to be successful. IDra's trying to expand here. PuMa will scout that and probably drop those forces. In he comes. There's the fungal. The bunker will go down, but are these Lings going to be enough to kill all these Marines? One more fungal, IDrA. Come on, fungal, you mother trucker. Yes, he does kill every single Marine. These SCVs are fodder. All of them are going to go down. And this base didn't even get taken out. It looks like PuMa's just going to run right on past it and stim up with a nice little marine spread here. But tons of links. IdrA seeing this dropship from this hatchery. And after all those SCVs die, PuMa's mining off just a couple of patches here. And that drop gets cleaned up. One marine on the high ground, but he can send in a couple links into his main to clean that up. And the base does finally go down by the siege tank. So IdrA still off one mining base, trying to get two. And PuMa just off a half a mining base. Oh my gosh, one more fungal over there would be devastating. And he's really struggling to get this one going. And if we check out the units, just one Broodlord, a lot of Lings against a lot of Marines, and a couple other units. So it's really Marine against Ling right now, but there are two Infestors out, so a Marine push wouldn't be a good idea. And, you know, that scan's got to be scary. He sees a lot of stuff, but little does he know, IdrA doesn't really have that much. And this is the point in the game where you have to understand where your opponent stands. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's got to be so frustrating. You have to understand where your opponent stands. You feel starved. You feel like you have no bases. You feel like, you know, you're backed up against the ropes. But you got to remember, they probably feel that way too. And IdrA is notorious for GGing because he has that feeling a lot. He has that tingling feeling in his pants where he's going to lose a game. And so he'll GG early. But he needs to recognize more often, you know, I've done a lot of damage to my opponent. I don't know how he's feeling right now. Maybe he feels exactly like I do. I'm just going to keep playing the game. And I feel like if there's one thing IdrA can't change, it's that mentality. And so he does, you know, put himself in his opponent's shoes and tries to think of ways he can come back into games that he is behind in. But right now, you know, he's not behind. He's still on one, almost two mining bases. And he's got a higher supply count. And he's doing some good harassment with this Broodlord here. And he really wants to protect this base. He didn't want to expand up here because there were rocks there. He didn't have the time to break it. And he's got Infestors. Oh my god, these Marines are so clumped. Oh, and he lands a perfect fungal. Another fungal, more Marines, or more Lings flanking in and killing every single Marine. Is that all that PuMa has? He has 38 Marines left in one tank and one Banshee, but that was huge. He was able to salvage this base, and these medevacs are not going to get away. They are slower than Corruptors 2.95 to 2.5. All these Marines being dropped are going to die, and GG from PuMa. Oh my god, that was insane. Great map control by IdrA with those Broodlords. Great harassment here from PuMa. This tank is a baller, 28 kills. This Infestor, oh, that Infestor finally died, but he was a hero as well. He is the reason there are still 4 patches here. Oh man, that was close. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was so freaking intense. I don't even know what to say, so I'm just going to peace out later.